Alright, here we are in the year 2023. My most requested vid thus far? To look back on last year. To look back on the predictions that I made at the start of the year when we were all full of optimism and hope and every other foolhardy thing a person can trick themselves on. But there really isn't much more to do at this point other than bring my actual self into the picture and to actually review this stuff. So, let's go. First off, I want to declare the champions for Formula 3, Formula 2, and for Formula 1. I mean, duh. For Formula 3, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon and also guess by his current form. For the champion to be Ollie Bearman of Prema.
And immediately we're wrong.
And a heap of talent to go with it. And while his
Great start.
is speedy as all hell, he does have a love-hate relationship with the checkered flag. In Formula 2, the title will go to the next Alain Prost, Formula 1 bound, very French-sounding named kid called Théo Pourchaire. By the way, speaking of Formula 1, this year's champion, well, it's this guy.
Charles Leclerc is champion of the world!
No, he ain't. And I do realize the notion that Charles becoming the champion this year is a bit of a fad.
A
But for the
bit?
record, Sammy and I predicted that first. At least I think we did. They've put a lot of focus into this year, and yet, despite the Italian tendency to blow up everything they ever invent, they'd shown progress last year after their disastrous 2020 campaign. And if that sounds stupid, I guess it kind of does. But Ferrari never seem to deliver when they're run by Italians. You need them to be run by the French. Luckily, that's what's happening this year. But oh boy, that was an oversight, wasn't it? I should have thought of that before waiting into this season. As for his teammate Carlos Sainz, there will be no such title, but he certainly will challenge Charles for it, and in the process, will take his first Grand Prix victory this year as well. And qualifying, he got his first win, so that's 1 out of 2, the 50%. What I'm about to say next is going to have a lot of people hurling a bucket of shit my way. But just remember, this isn't what I want to happen, it's just what I think is going to happen. And I could be wrong, but in any case, here goes. Lewis Hamilton will be beaten by George Russell. And I know how that's going to sound to a lot of you, but let me ask you this. Did we really think that Daniel Ricciardo would beat Sebastian Vettel the way that he did when he entered Red Bull back in 2014 after Seb just completely wiped the floor with everyone in 2013? Why it happened is not important. The thing is that it did happen. And in the sport, anything can happen. And this year, I'm predicting that the greatest driver of his era is going to get dunked by a Jude Law clone. What gives? Well, honestly, part of the reason is that Lewis will now have a teammate who knows how to overtake. And yes, there were circumstances around that. Toward the end of the championship, it was clear who the better driver was. But I didn't say which method he'd do it. I just said that George would beat Lewis. And George beat Lewis. In the standings, that is. So, 2 out of 3. Doesn't mean I think Lewis is going to drown this year. I mean, for instance, he's going to maintain his winning record this year, carrying on the streak of winning a race in every
big
season of
swing and a miss there. Nowhere near right.
Oh, far out. Why do I have a feeling that the rest of the stuff from now on is going to be just as wrong as what this is? Max did walk away the champion. It won't happen this year though. In fact, this year is going to be more tricky for him and for Red Bull in the main. All the time and effort spent toward the title challenge last year is going to come back to haunt Red Bull. But Red Bull will not be at the forefront and will be lucky to scrape in a win or two. This also
Lucky
means
to
some
scrape
bad
in a
things for
win or
Checo.
two.
Well, I was close considering the car is one of the most dominant cars in Formula 1 history. 1 or 2 races lost and I would have been right. But I'm not right. I'm catastrophically wrong here. Again. For there will be a driver who will step onto the top step of the podium and become a Grand Prix winner once again. Sir Lancelot Stroll. I know he ain't. This will be Lance's year, just like it was last year. This time for real though. This will just be a prediction every year until he actually wins. Until he wins a race? Yeah, not too far away. I'm guessing probably about 2048. By which time I'd probably be dead actually. Sometimes you get wacko races, like the one won last year by Esteban Ocon, and in that melee, Lance will find a way. Also,
He did
Seb,
not find a
yeah,
way.
I reckon Seb will return to the
Nor
top
did
step of the
Seb.
podium.
Not only did he not win a race, he retired from the damn sport.
Oh boy, 2022 was the year of the curse for me. How many damn things did I curse that year? By the way, if you haven't seen it, go check out Seb's video. Please, I implore you. I know it seems like I'm just throwing shit out there at the moment, but this is a different year for the sport. There will be shakeups, including over at Williams, who will take a big stride forward. I see them in the hunt for points for every round this year, by at least one of its drivers. When all the stars align, I could see Albon getting a P4, maybe a P3 if a wacky race would occur. Meanwhile, over at AlphaTauri, I'm not predicting a hell of a lot of things other than Gazza continuing to do his thing, a making the most of what he has and scoring the odd free podium, while teammate Yuki Tsunoda will finally... Was this the case? Did Gasly do well this year, and was Yuki proving his worth? I mean, that is subjective to be totally honest. At this point, so many things are wrong, it's probably not even worth totaling up what I did get right. Because not enough was right. But while this is all sunshine and rainbows for the aforementioned teams, there are two that I'm predicting are gonna drown this year. The first of those teams being Alpine.
And they did not. Alpine did not drown this year. I mean, they did have too many barbecues, but in terms of on-track pace, they were probably the 4th best team. I mean, where Fernando would have finished this year had the damn car held together is anyone's guess. It would have been high though.
I don't know where these guys are going to be, but I don't think they're going to challenge for wins. Let's put it that way.
And they did not challenge for wins. Did they drown? You could argue that.
The other team to get hit by a stack of bricks this year will be Alfa Romeo. I'm guessing they're going to drown badly this year, and I'm not going to put it down to the drivers Bottas and Zhou. The team as a whole seems to be going backwards, not forwards, in recent years, and I just don't reckon it's going to change.
I am aging 5 years watching this video and my stupid ass predictions. But at least the Haas one was right.
Looking ahead to 2023, I am going to take a stab at some driver moves. Zhou will move to Williams, replacing Albon.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Whoever the hell it is, because that Alfa Romeo seat of his will be handed to
And that
Teo
didn't happen
Pourchaire.
either.
And while not strictly speaking 2023, I'm predicting that the new Andretti Formula 1 team will be announced around Miami Grand Prix time, entering in 2024 with Colton Herta as one of his drivers. But hey, Michael.
Yeah. And yeah, we're now in that debacle where Andretti wants to be on that grid. They got the Cadillac deal, but Liberty Media, team principals, everyone against this move. Y'all. At least be honest about why you don't want them in here. It's not about the name, it's not about worthiness of being in Formula 1. At least be honest with us all that you just want more money for this and that you don't give a damn about the sport. You don't want to feel closer, you just want wins, you want more prize money. At least be honest about that. If you are really for the sport, allow these guys in.
So yeah, those are my predictions for this year. Got any?
Breeze. Okay, here they are. My predictions for last year. How many did I get right here? So Charles become the champion? No. Carlos to get his first win? Yes. George beating Lewis? Yes, that's 2 out of 3 so far. Lewis maintaining a winning record? Okay. Potential Merc conflicts? Kind of. Max to only win 1 or 2 races this season? No. Checo to struggle, drop by Red Bull, retire? No. Lance winning a race? No. Seb winning a race? No. Williams to move up the grid? No. Albon to get P4, P3 in a race this year? No. Gasly to perform well as usual? Subjective. Tsunoda to start living up to the hype? Not really. Alpine and McLaren drowning? Subjective. Not with Alpine though, that was not true. Alfa Romeo to be the worst team on the grid? No. Haas to return to the points? They did. Zhou to move to Williams? He did not. Andretti to announce F1 team at Miami Grand Prix and enter in 2024? No. Colton Herta to join Andretti in 2024? No, like, because Colton did sign that contract for up to 2026, but that's just for Andretti. It didn't say where exactly he would, end up. So it is open for a Formula 1 seat, so if the team is allowed entry, then yeah, we have potentially got a right one here, but for now... Okay, so a lot of this was wrong. If this proves one thing though, it's that us F1 YouTubers do not have a crystal ball. I mean, we're barely an educated bunch. We're all frauds, but it's fun all the same. And I'm sure that whatever predictions I have for 2023, they'll be crap as well. So, do I have any predictions for 2023? Well, yeah, of course I do. This guy's gonna win a race. Obviously.
I imagine being out there, going out and driving in my car. Mitsubishi, Mazda, Toyota, doesn't matter, even you don't care. Instead we locked up inside. All I wanna do is out of here, driving past the villa, eating my